Welcome. In front of me is an INFINIX Hot 50 Pro, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device, its specifications, and also give you my insight in what I think about this product. So, right out of the box we are presented with basically BS all around, lies and everything. So, you know how, for instance, Samsung has 5 years of life support for their devices, like software updates and stuff like that? Here we have 5 years of smoothness. How the hell do you classify smoothness? Who the hell knows? Next we have 256 gigabytes of storage. Paired up with not 16 as it's labeled gigs of RAM, but 8. That other 8 is just storage. And that isn't coming magically out of nowhere. It's basically being yoinked from here, and it's basically equivalent of like putting a bicycle tire on a sports car. So your 16 gigabytes of RAM is like a Ferrari with a bicycle tire on it. So good luck. So that's absolute BS, and you can't really add like two things like that. Math, you have this kind of equations that would be, for instance, 1a plus 1b doesn't equal 2a, so neither does it equal 2a here. Anyway, let's just get straight into the box. Now, all in all, apart from these blatant lies on the box right here, the device isn't half bad. If it wasn't for the damn price. It is a bit overpriced for a INFINIX, I would say, as I sure as hell am not gonna be paying $250 US for an INFINIX. So let's boot it up. Oh, that feels rough. The plastic frame protrudes a little bit higher than the back, so your finger just catches the frame a little bit and it's just scratchy. Not the best kind of feeling. Anyway, next we got our SIM ejector, paperwork, silicone case, very decent looking charger, headphones with a headphone jack, Type A to Type C cable. And let's see what the wattage of this brick is. Maybe somewhere here. There we go. It's 33 watts max. So a pretty decent charger in the box. So that's actually a pretty great thing that they included such a thing. Now, just drop that back in here and move over to the device. So let's start off with the display, which will be the first thing and probably the biggest selling point of this device. That is a 6.78 inch AMOLED display with a 1080 by 2436 pixel resolution, so it's a 1080p resolution, which is full HD. 120 Hz refresh rate with a peak brightness of 1800 nits, pixel density of 393, and a screen to body ratio of 86%. So, all in all, a pretty decent display. Bezels are a little bit chunkier than what I would expect in 2024, end of it, but it's still not that bad. Now, if we flip it over, we have what looks to be a triple camera setup. Now, this is INFINIX, so I haven't even checked it yet, but I doubt it's a triple camera setup. And let's see how wrong would I be to expect this. We have a 15 megapixel f1.6 aperture 27mm wide lens. So that's what I would have expected to actually have a usable camera. Then we got a shit cam called 2 megapixel depth camera. We don't need to go into depth into that one. It doesn't go deep itself. And then third unspecified camera. Fantastic. Even the manufacturer can specify the camera. Awesome. Considering the 2 megapixel is already crap enough, I doubt that the third one is even a camera at that point. So yeah, it just looks like a triple camera setup. In reality, it's just a single camera setup. We're gonna slap a case on that. It's not like there's much to protect right here, to be completely honest. These cameras are absolutely atrocious, apart from maybe the main one. Now at the front we have a 8 megapixel wide sensor. That's a bit disappointing too. Now With the back cameras, you can at least record at 1440p at 30 frames, and 1080p allows you to go up to 60 frames. Now, if you move over to the internals, the device houses a 5000 mAh battery, so that's a pretty decent battery size considering this device is actually, well, thin. So if I take off the case, it's not like a thick device, so decent battery size for the thickness of the phone. It also runs on a Helio G100 processor, comes with 8GB of RAM, not the 16 that it's labeled on the box, and comes with 128 gigs or 256 gigs of storage, which is expandable also via not USB, but SD card. So you can plop in SD card here and expand it even further, which is pretty good. Now, anything else left to say here that is worth mentioning? We have under display fingerprint sensor, accelerometer, proximeter, compass, and yeah, that's about it. Literally, that's about it. So now, with that all out of the way, I kind of want to just talk about my opinion of this device. So, kind of have been doing that partially to the video, but being a little bit more serious now, the build quality, the specifications of this phone and everything around just doesn't really justify the $250 price tag which this device comes at where I am located at. Now, if you don't have much of other options, it seems like a decent device. Not necessarily the biggest fan of INFINIX. They're not the most reliable devices with software and everything, but all in all, it's not a bad phone. But if I have other options, which where I am at, Poland specifically, I do have other options, and I can get way better device for cheaper than what this is right here. And to give you a perspective, for about 180-70 bucks, you can get a CMF Phone 1 from a company called Nothing. This is their kind of like a budget phone that they created not too long ago. They typically were making more of like a higher mid-range devices, still at a very decent price, but those obviously were much more expensive than 180 bucks. CMF Phone 1 on the other hand side is basically in a price category what I could consider as budget, while giving you performance of a device with specifications that are closer to high-end devices, with a Dimensity 7300, which is nearly 50% faster in almost everything than what you have right here, with a screen that is basically the same as its AMOLED 120, though it has a better brightness. Battery and charging speed are the same. Camera wise, it will be better as it has actually second usable camera, unlike this device, and has a nicer approach to user with the plastic design. This is plastic design, but if something gets damaged right here, you're kind of stuck with it. CMF Phone allows you to just completely swap out the cover, loosen a couple of screws, pop off the back, and you can swap it for different color ones, screw it in with some accessory wheel right here, which is pretty neat idea, while also offering 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM. This one has 8, so obviously it matches this one. And like I mentioned, the major selling point there is that it's, well, cheaper while offering faster device in terms of processor, and in terms of display, battery and all that stuff, it's about the same. So for me, this is completely not worth it when I can get a better phone for cheaper and a significantly cheaper price that is going to run faster. It completely defeats the purpose and existence of this phone itself. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, why I'm being super harsh to these devices. And if you found this recommendation informative and maybe usable for you, then that's great. Don't forget to smash like in this case, and thanks for watching.